blues fans, you found us, and I'm glad you did. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues. It's our weekly look on blues history. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Matson, with the blues band Big Train and the Loco Motives. We're your favorite blues nerds. Just trying to keep the blues alive, one post, one video, one song at a time. We have a great show for you this week, so let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. Blues harmonica player James Harmon was born on June 8th, 1946. He was born in Anniston, Alabama, and Harmon began taking piano lessons at the age of 4. Harmonicas owned by his father were stored in the piano bench, and James tried playing them after his piano lessons ended. In time, he learned to play several musical instruments, including the guitar, electronic organ, and the drums. By the age of 16, he had launched his own band and subsequently recorded a number of singles and albums with various ensembles, including Soul Senders, Snake Doctor, King James and the Royals, Ice House Blues Band, and my favorite, Ice Pick James and the Rattlesnakes. Slide guitar master Derek Trucks was born June 8th in 1979. He displays a command of the slide guitar, running the gamut from blues to classic R&B to early rock and roll to classic jazz. He's the nephew of longtime Allman Brothers drummer Butch Trucks. Now, Derek Trucks began playing the guitar when he was 9 and shared stages and sat in with the likes of Buddy Guy and the Allman Brothers Band by the time he was 12. Trucks later married blues guitarist Susan Tedeschi, and the pair continued to record and perform as the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Skip James, the best-known proponent of the so-called Bentonia School of Blues Players, was born on June 9th in 1902. He is among the earliest and most influential Delta bluesmen to record. His guitar playing is noted for its dark, minor key sound, played in an open D minor tuning, coupling with an oddball guitar tuning set against eerie falsetto vocals. James' early recordings can make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. After his 1931 recordings sold poorly, he drifted into obscurity until being rediscovered in the blues revival of the 1960s. Clarksdale, Mississippi blues guitar player Anthony Big A Sherrod was born on June 9th in 1984. Now, Big A performs regularly in Mississippi, but can also be found touring internationally. He's a natural showman that uses a stage not as a border, but more as a suggestion, as he will jump on the nearest bar and play from there. He moves and plays with a bit of a mischievous nature, and he personifies the authentic music of Clarksdale today. Anthony is an example of the success of the Blues Music Education after-school program at the Delta Blues Museum. Not only a student there, but later a teacher, passing on his skills and knowledge to the Clarksdale youth, solidifying the next generation of blues players. Jazz, country, and blues guitar player, plus songwriter, plus luthier, plus inventor, Les Paul was born on June 9th in 1915. Not only was he a pioneer of the solid body electric guitar in the 1950s, he and his wife, singer and guitar player Mary Ford, recorded numerous records, selling millions of copies. In 1940, Paul created a prototype instrument called the log, which was the pioneer of solid body guitars. He approached Gibson Guitar Corporation with his idea in 1941, but it wasn't until Fender began marketing its Esquire and Broadcaster guitars in 1950 that they showed interest. The guitar was dubbed the Gibson Les Paul and released for sale in 1952. The one and only Howlin' Wolf was born on June 10th in 1910. In the history of the blues, there really hasn't been anything quite like Howlin' Wolf. He's 6'3" and close to 300 pounds in his salad days. The Wolf was a primal force of the music. No one could match him for the singular ability to rock the house down to the foundation, and at the same time scaring its patrons out of its wits. Over a 4-decade career, He was at the front of transforming acoustic Delta blues into the electric Chicago blues. In 1980, he was elected to the Blues Foundation Hall of Fame, and in 1991, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A couple of years later, his face was on a United States postage stamp. Blues musician Little Laura Dykes was born on June 10th in 1907. She was a singer, dancer, mandolin, banjo, and ukulele player. She was often billed as Little Laura or Little Bit, in reference to her 4'7" height. She performed and recorded in Memphis, Tennessee, from the 1920s to the 1980s. She grew up in North Memphis, where her father had been a drummer in W.C. Handy's band. She first recorded in 1934, playing mandolin on recordings made by the Memphis Jug Band. The sweetheart of the blues, Bonnie Lee, was born June 11th in 1931. With her powerful, sweet voice, Bonnie Lee was a longtime fixture of Chicago's contemporary blues scene, as well as one of the last surviving links to its post-war heyday. She is best remembered for her lengthy working relationships with Sunnyland Slim and Willie Kent, becoming a legend on the North Side blues circuit. She was one of the last of her genre, the big-voiced woman blues singer fronting a Chicago band. June 12th marks the birthday of blues guitarist Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Now, this Shreveport native began playing guitar at the age of 7, figuring out Muddy Waters licks from his father's record collection, despite never taking a formal lesson. Signed to a major record deal at the age of 13, he's been nominated for 5 Grammy Awards, has received 2 Billboard Music Awards, 2 Blues Music Awards, and 2 Orville H. Gibson Awards. I think he's going to need a bigger trophy case. Charlie Patton recorded Pony Blues on June 14th in 1929. Patton wrote Pony Blues sometime around the age of 19. With the help of record store owner H.C. Spire, Patton obtained his first recording session for Paramount Records. He cut 14 sides, including Pony Blues, Banty Rooster Blues, and Down the Dirt Road. Pony Blues was also the first song to be released by Patton on the Paramount label. He would record another rendition of the song as Stone Pony Blues in 1934. Here's our new releases section. Now on June 13th, several items are dropping. The first is Terry Hanks' album called Grease to Gravy. The second is by Aki Kumar with the album God Bless the USA. And on June 13th, Rough Records will issue a vinyl version of the album On the Jimmy Reed Highway by Omar Kent Dykes and Jimmy Vaughn. So be on the lookout for those. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a brand new episode next week, and it's going to be a good one. So, we'll see you then.